Module number 4. We discuss all about culture and moral behavior. Be able to articulate what culture means, be able to recognize and appreciate the differences in moral behavior of different culture, and be able to define cultural relativism and evaluate its strengths and weaknesses in making moral. What is culture and moral behavior? Culture reflects the moral and ethical beliefs and standards that speak to how people should behave and interact with others. They act as prescriptions for correct and moral behavior, lend meaning and coherence to life, and provide the means of achieving a sense of integrity, safety, and belonging. It means culture reflects the moral and ethical beliefs and standards that speak to how people should behave and interact with others. What is culture? Is defined as a complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, arts, moral, law, custom, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by man as member of society. The totality of learned, social transmitted custom, knowledge, material object, and behavior. The distinctive way of life of people whatever they might. These are the function of culture. Number 1, culture provide an identity to the people in the society. Means in addition to its strength value, culture provide important social and economic benefits. 2, culture mirrors the law of the land. Parang it means increase to tolerance and other opportunities to come together with others' culture. Culture unifies people in many ways that only those who belong in that society understand. It is always what is the common while group invoked in matters decision, practice, and tradition. Parang its quality of life and increases overall well-being for both individual and communities. Number 4, culture influence our concept of morality. Culture provide the rules of game in tradition throughout our cultural norms. Cultural relativism. It is the view that moral beliefs and practice vary that and depend on the human needs and social condition of particular cultures. This define is entirely based on the premise that there can be no universal outs and there is no culture can be the basis of all that is good and true. It is important to recognize the validity of cultural differences since ethical judgments are relative to cultural context. Parang ang tinutukoy dito is the view that ethical and social standards reflect the cultural context from which they are derived in people who view the ethical and social standards. Cultural relativism then should be understood as the celebration and appreciation of cultural diversity. This diversity could be manifested in way we dress, the way we talk to elderly, and even our beliefs in the supernatural. It is important to underscore as well the important historical role of cultural relativism in encouraging cross-cultural understanding and contributing to an expansion of human freedom. This is the example of relativism, that whether inaction is right and wrong depends on the moral norms. Ethical relativism or moral relativism maintain that different societies and ages hold distinct system of morality and there are no object and transcultural criteria for judging between this system. Ethical or moral values and beliefs are relative to the various individual or rare societies that hold them. There is no objective right and wrong. Ethical relativism is theory that can hold the morality. Parang it's relative to the norms of one culture, but it's only one only. We have two forms of ethical relativism. 1. Personal or individual ethical relativism. Ethical judgments and beliefs are the expressions of the moral outlook and attitudes of individual person. There is no object standard of right and wrong, in much as the individual person is the basis of moral judgment. Any person has no right to say that others are correct or incorrect. An ethical relativist, may I say I have my own view and you have yours. Neither my view nor yours is better or more correct. This is the example. Number 2. The social or cultural ethical relativism. Ethical values and beliefs vary from society to society. The basis of moral judgment lies in this social of cultural. No society's view is better than any other in a transcultural sense. No society has the right to say that particular culture of a certain society is wrong. We have example here. The ancient Indian practice of sati or soot, a practice of burning the wife alive in the funeral pyre of her deceased husband. Social and cultural ethical relativism. Ethical values and beliefs vary from society to society. The basis of moral judgment lies in this social of cultural views. No society view is better than any other in transcultural sense. No society has the right to say that particular culture of a certain society is wrong. There is possible reason that support ethical relativism. We have 3. Diversity of moral values presents of disagreement of many ethical issues for even on basic moral values. 2. Moral uncertainty. There is a great difficulty in knowing what is the morally right thing to do or believe. 3. Situational differences. Situations in life of different people vary so much point. We cannot attain object truth, hence that is right or wrong, for one may be necessarily right or wrong for another. That means theory has hold that morality is relative to the norms. Just only one like ethical relativism, that social or cultural ethical relativism. This is the strength of our moral, and this is our weaknesses. Cultural tolerance. Cultural relativism should result to cultural tolerance in order to preserve the distinctiveness of people regardless and whichever context they come from. The thought cultural tolerance is highly encouraged. It will not mean that we are not compromise human life and all the universal rights associated with it. A particular culture cannot invoke cultural relativism at all times. Being culturally tolerant means is discriminating against people of other culture. Ignorance and for fear unfamiliar things lead to cultural intolerance. We have here tips for improving your cultural sensitivity. 1. Exposure, education, curiosity, and self-awareness. The truth is no matter where we live or you are exposed to other cultures, look for local festival and event focused on other cultures. Education, understanding the cultural practice of other can make or break an interaction. We show respect by observing those practices, so knowing that not to do is cruel. Learn about cultures by regarding online magazines, journals, or blogs.
Curiosity. Being culturally curious, that means you have to sell everything and become a backpacker. You can start small by going to a local restaurant to try a new food. Ask questions like, is this how this dish is traditionally served in our country? Like that. Number 4. Self-awareness. Knowing more about your own culture is the most important part of developing cultural sensitivity. You can expect to truly understand someone else until you know yourself. by starting answering a simple question: what make you and your culture unique? And that's all for our topic for today. Thank you.